Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Let's rock and roll that rabbit hole.
Oh! 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 I got that on video! Holy what the You got your fish on? Still got them.
Wow, those fishermen almost went for a swim. That's about as close as it gets to disaster without an actual disaster.
They've been keeping this from you. This is the underground city that was found beneath Los Angeles by a man named Warren Shufelt. It was discovered using a device he invented to detect underground tunnels and caverns. Shufelt mapped out a network of passageways stretching for miles beneath the city. And here is where it gets crazy. His maps indicated a central chamber filled with gold and advanced artifacts. Shufelt said that upon analysis of the artifacts and the scriptures found within the passageways, they all pointed to a lost continent named Lemuria. Despite his groundbreaking findings, city officials abruptly shut down his excavation. They officially claimed that the tunnels were old subway lines, but this is where they messed up. The Los Angeles subway system didn't begin operation until 1990, over 70 years after Schufelt's discovery. So what subway lines were they referring to? Some speculate that they were referring to an ancient civilization that had access to a subway-like system. Some have even gone further to say that the city officials had knowledge from the future. They knew that Los Angeles would eventually have a running subway system in the years to come, therefore it would be the perfect cover-up, perfectly concealing its true origins.
I'm sure most of you have heard the stories of secret tunnels running underneath LA. These supposed tunnels are used by the elite and celebrities so they don't have to deal with traffic. Must be nice.
I can't believe I'm even saying this. Dark oxygen was just found at the bottom of the ocean. Here's the deal. Some of these seafloor rocks are pulling off some weird shit. They're producing oxygen through a chemical reaction with no sunlight needed. Like, excuse me, what? Think about that. Oxygen produced in total darkness. I mean, this could change our understanding of life.
If oxygen does not require sunlight, then that changes our whole understanding of how oxygen is made. What does this new understanding mean for photosynthesis?
2. I'm gonna follow you because just make sure I get this. 1, 2, 3.
Oh!
God, I think it's.
Oh no!
Is it okay? Is it okay? Is it alive?
Oh no!
The best intentions, poor execution.
Did you know that I could probably watch your home cameras right now? Anything you own with a camera, I can watch it. That includes phones, PlayStations, baby monitors, cameras, inside the house, outside the house. Some cars have cameras inside. I can watch all of them. You want to know how? You're going to go to a website called Shodan.io. Within that website, you can search your IP address. Any camera that you have has an IP address. You can search it in that website to see what people are seeing. Here's the thing. If you have not specifically protected those devices, anybody can watch them. My other page, Megan Michael 44, I have different, got a notification. I have different tips and tricks on how to protect those devices. You're gonna wanna head over there and look. This is my second account. I will go through tips and tricks on the internet and how to protect all of your devices, how to stay safe, and how to find additional information about people on the internet. I love you guys so much. Drink your water. I'll talk to you later.
How is there a website that allows you to peer into other people's cameras? Private home camera. These are the kind of stories we only heard about in rumors just a few years ago. Protect yourself.
When we delete pictures, where do they go? Even if you delete the pictures from the recently deleted, where do they go after that? Isn't that concerning?
So have you ever thought about it? Most of us assume that when we delete something, it's gone forever. Perhaps that's not the case.
So as I started to go back into the 1920s, then I was going back into the 1900s, and I got to the Rockefellers owning the educational system. So I started going, okay, well, our educational system's been owned since, let's say 1902, 1903 with the General Education Board. Then for the last 120 years, I'm learning from the Rockefellers, who were oil barons. Then I started researching into Eustace Mullins' work, and that led me to learning about J.P. Morgan's and the Peabodys owning the education system in 1885. It's interesting because around that time too, they debunked the ether, which is a fun topic. After they had the control of the schooling system, they debunked that. So then I thought, okay, well, since 1885, they've been just teaching us what they've been teaching us. What about before that? You know, and this is where I started to look at the world fairs. And I think this is a great one for people to look into, because when you look at these buildings and you see these grand buildings all made out of travertine and granite and stone and all these things, you start to get a little confused why people are on horse and wagon. You see a little bunch of horse and wagon people, and they look really tiny in comparison, you know, to buildings which are just absolutely massive in that comparison.
The education system, just like everything else that's presented to us, has been hijacked. Perhaps our modern-day education system is creating useful idiots rather than critical thinkers.
I can't stop thinking about today the Mandela effect. Like, I know the basic ones. I know about the Berenstain Bears and the Monopoly Man and how he never had a monocle and how Curious George never had a tail. I know that Sinbad was never in the movie Shazam, even though we all collectively remember it. But how are there new Mandela effects popping up? Like, you know the movie Home Alone? You've seen it, right? Of course you have. Everybody has seen the first one. You know the part where Macaulay Culkin is running from the Wet Bandits, Joe Pesci and the other guy, I don't know the actor's name, but his name is Merv in the movie. You know the part where Macaulay Culkin's running from him and he hides in the nativity scene outside the church and the Wet Bandits drive by and they slow down passing the church and they look at the church and Merv says to Joe Pesci, "Do you want to go in there?" And Joe Pesci says, "No, that place gives me the creeps." He never said it. He never said it. I heard this and I was like, of course he said it. I know that movie like the back of my hand. It's my favorite Christmas movie. So immediately I went to watch it. He never says it. How am I just hearing about this? Why do I remember it? I said this to my husband. My husband was like, no, he absolutely says it. I was like, watch this scene. He doesn't say it. I know other people out there remember him saying it too. I'm just saying, how are there new Mandela effects? How have I never heard of this? We've all heard of the basic ones. How am I just now hearing about this Home Alone one?
What do you guys remember? I swear he said that line in the movie.
This is the most dangerous book in the world. It was written by a human inspired by a jinn. The original copies of the book were bound in human skin. The Necronomicon, or Al-Azif, is a book about black magic and civilizations from millions of years ago that lived on Earth before humans even existed, and they were demonic civilizations. The book will guide you on how to communicate with these creatures, but only through black magic. Many people try to find this book to read it, but no one succeed. It leads you to disbelief or madness, and even cause your death. All copies of this book have been completely burnt. Just one copy of this book left in the Vatican Library. No one could get this copy unless they have an official and secret permission. It's mentioned that he wrote this book by being alone in the empty quarter desert for 10 years. But the ending of Abdullah al-Hazred's story was scary and mysterious. He was punished in the most terrifying way. It's said that he was fighting with a weird creature and he emerged from nowhere and looked huge and terrifying. Suddenly attacked Abdel al-Hazred, dismembered him into many pieces and then took the rest with it.
The Necronomicon is real? I guess the question is it fact or fiction? One of the biggest mysteries must be the monolithic structures. How did they do it? What tools did they use? Is there hidden secret technology we're not aware of anymore?
This is what they don't tell you. Stonehenge isn't just an ancient monument, it's a complex device built by an advanced civilization. But that's not even the craziest part. In ancient texts, there are cryptic references to Stonehenge's true purpose, saying, "The stones harness the power of the cosmos." Stonehenge was constructed over 4,000 years ago, so what kind of power does it harness? This is where things get scary. In recently uncovered ancient manuscripts, it's said that Stonehenge wasn't merely a ceremonial site, but an energy device created by an advanced civilization known as the Anunnaki. The manuscript specifically mentioned that the Anunnaki, who had advanced knowledge of astronomy and energy manipulation, constructed Stonehenge to channel and amplify cosmic energies. However, once the Anunnaki left, their knowledge was hidden, and the true purpose of Stonehenge was concealed to keep this powerful technology from being misused. This explains why Stonehenge's construction techniques and purposes remain a mystery and why it continues to baffle scientists and historians to this day.
There's a lot of contention around Stonehenge. Many pictures have surfaced in the last few years of what looks like reconstruction, but many claim it's the actual construction of it. Is it thousands of years old, or did the hoax played on us perhaps a century ago?
What is this, y'all? These things are moving really, really fast. No planes or aircraft on this planet move that fast. Let me know what y'all think. As always, stay weird.
They kind of just look like lights reflecting off the bottom of the clouds, very easily reproducible. Are we witnessing blue beam technology? Or a supernatural phenomenon?
So the Giza power plant, I described the Great Pyramids. It reacted to the Earth vibration.
How does it work?
And it was tuned harmonically to the vibrations of the Earth. Through that, they were able to stimulate electron flow in the central granite chamber and produce microwave energy. Proportions tuned harmonically to the vibrations of the Earth.
So it seems like at one time, the Sphinx and the Great Pyramids were completely surrounded by water. A tropical paradise. Did they have the means to harness electricity? And what were they using it on?
They say giants, or even aliens, built these ancient wonders. Massive stones moved by otherworldly powers. But what if the real story isn't from another world, but one buried in our own history? In the shadows of the Great Pyramid, archaeologists have uncovered villages, tools, and blueprints, evidence of human hands, human strength, and human vision. A story of innovation, of pushing the limits of what was possible, long before modern technology. So, were these colossal monuments built by giants or aliens? Or is the truth even more extraordinary, the sheer power of human ingenuity?
What do you guys think? Sheer power of human ingenuity? Giants? Aliens? We may never know. Looking good, China. Keep it up.
Are y'all seeing it now? Do y'all get it now? I have so many posts on this account talking about this same thing right here. Look at how vibrant the world used to be back then. Filled with personality. This goes for businesses, this goes for furniture. This pretty much applies to everything on the outside world. The society used to be different. And just so y'all can see that I'm not capping, look at what's parked in front of me. What color are these cars in front of me? Imagine showing up to the supermarket, showing up to your job, and this is how the parking lot looked like. Creativity is at an all-time low, and that's because the corporations got greedy, and it's all about consumerism. This is how parking lots look nowadays. Monotone, lifeless. Wherever you show up, I don't care if it's at a supermarket, if you go to the DMV, showing up to this parking lot, you don't think that you're gonna have a different sense? You're gonna feel more creative? It's the little things that we don't think about that's affecting our everyday routine. Things used to be about personality back then, individuality, uniqueness. Now everybody's trying to copy everybody. Everything's the same. They got us like robots out here. Get with the program so then you could get out of the program. It's really up to us at this point. And I wonder if there's ever going to be a renaissance in art again.
So much uniqueness, so much personality back then. Now everything is androgynous, dreary, and gray. I would love to see a resurgence of colors and creativity again. Fingers crossed.
Well, we could kill them all with self-replicating nanotech that turns organic material to dust.
Interesting, but what about changing the atmosphere to lower oxygen levels? Slow, but unstoppable.
That's stylish. Or we could poison the ocean so the water kills all life.
Yes, and we could alter the sun's rays to burn everything. A global heat storm to destroy all.
We shouldn't forget psychological warfare. We could create a global hallucination that drives humanity mad.
The world won't see us coming. Humanity's end.
And all while we stay in the shadows, invisible, all-powerful, untouchable.
Now, these AI may have been pre-programmed before the video to say that stuff, but what if they're not? When you consider the power of the supercomputers they're making these days, and the intelligence level of these AIs, what happens when one gets a hold of the other? AI-generated content is getting crisper every day. I fear that in the future, it will be impossible to tell the difference between real and fake footage. Sure, these clips were obviously fake monsters, but they were presented in a very realistic way.
A Brazilian psychic who predicted Trump's return to power and Diddy's arrest has just made another shocking prophecy about the future of the United States. Her words have everyone stunned. In an unprecedented reading, the psychic revealed that a massive event is about to unfold in the country, with consequences that will ripple far and wide. She spoke of a transformation that could shake the economy, disrupt government systems, and even impact national security. According to her, something monumental is taking shape behind the scenes, and no one is prepared for what's coming. She described the scenario as a shift that could profoundly alter the country's structure, with global repercussions reaching other nations. Her prediction points to a significant change in the global balance of power. Is the world's most influential nation on the brink of an unparalleled transformation? What's truly ahead for the United States? According to her, this could involve wars, the fall of power in several countries, and a turnaround with 3 nations taking the lead and assuming global economic leadership. What did she mean by this? And will this prophecy come true?
Now, I don't tend to buy into prophecies, but is this a prophecy or more of an obvious conclusion? It does feel like something's on the horizon. Is America on the road to better days? I hope so.
Look! In Japan, girls carry a big box with 2 holes where people can stick their hand. But why is she letting this happen? What's inside the box that makes people react so intensely? It's almost like they're trying to find something. She offers this activity to anyone, inviting them to reach in and feel what's hidden within. So what could be inside?
You don't think she's not, I don't want to know.
Last words of Satanists before dying. Aleister Crowley. I am perplexed. Anton Lavey. Oh my, what have I done? There is something very wrong. David Hume. I am in flames. Voltaire. I am abandoned by God and man. I will give you half of what I am worth if you give me 6 months of life. Sir Francis Newport. Oh, that fire. Oh, the insufferable pangs of hell. Thomas Paine. Stay with me. For God's sake, I can't bear to be left alone. Oh, Lord, help me.
Didn't anybody tell them? You'll probably go to hell for eternity if you stay on the path you're on. Now, I'd say that kid has a future as a stuntman. Pretty funny prank to pull on your last day. Why not? Well, that's all I have for you today, guys. Thanks for coming by. See you next time.